Hello, and welcome to Pisces Horoscope, presented by Signs of the Stars. In today's video, we'll explain some reasons why a Pisces man may break up with you. If you're interested in this zodiac sign, follow our channel and turn on notifications to be the first to know when we upload a new video. Without further ado, 10 reasons why a Pisces man will break up with you. If you've come to this video wondering why your Pisces man has left, let me tell you that you are in the right place. Everything may have seemed to be going great until one cold day he said goodbye. If you couldn't realize when things turned south, or you didn't know how to handle his dark side, you may have a lot of questions. But I'm sure that when you recognize some of his red flags, it will all start to make sense. Fact 10. He is one of the most indecisive men. When it's time to make a decision, a Pisces man might find that their tendency to change their mind makes it harder than they expected. This dreamer hates to choose just one reality because he is used to the infinite possibilities that exist in the scenarios that he creates in his imagination. This emotional flow can sometimes cause him to fall in love at first sight, only to have the spell broken just as quickly. This means that when he chooses one person to date, he will weigh all of his options. However, this will not end there because even once he has settled in, he will continue to consider other scenarios in his mind. And maybe one day, when things are not so good, he will realize that he prefers the other options after all. Fact 9. He idealizes his relationships. Because Pisces is a sign ruled by Neptune, the planet of illusion, being a dreamer is an intrinsic part of their existence. However, his desire to live from fantasy to fantasy can make his expectations somehow unrealistic. Since he is not looking for a real relationship, but one that is equal or better than those he has in his imagination. He will do his best to avoid conflict and will not try to be aware of any flaws that may pop his bubble. If there are big problems in the relationship or he is being unfaithful, he will feel completely betrayed and will want to get out of there as soon as possible. For all these reasons, when the Pisces man knows his partner in depth, the initial instant crush may lose its effect on him. Now, before we continue with the countdown, we have a special treat for you. Unlock your psychic powers. Many go through life not using the powers that has been gifted to them. Most don't even know where to go to learn how to use these powers. Click the link below in the video description to join the Psychic School and take your free course that will help you unleash your true powerful self. Gain the power to understand dreams and outer body experiences. Gain the power of awareness of the spirits around you and even talk to them. Learn the power to access your past life. Learn the power to do readings for yourself and others. Small disclaimer. These powers are not meant for use of evil purposes, so if you intend to use these gifts for evil or to harm others, then this message is not for you. But all others, click the link below in the video description to join the Psychic School for your free course and become your true powerful self. Now, back to the countdown. Fact 8. He can't handle the thought phases of a relationship. One more time, I will say it. Pisces lives life through rose-colored glasses. This means that he will never take it well when someone takes them away and let him see that things takes a different course from his fantasies. Anything that contradicts his dreams will put extra weight on his shoulders and upset him. When Pisces has to confront the cruel side of life or any dark periods of a relationship, he just closes his eyes and imagines that everything seems okay, which might piss off or baffle his partner. After all, his evasive attitude will do nothing but cover his eyes from the problems in front of him, so he won't be able to solve them. Fact 7. He's insecure to the core. The insecurity of the man born under this sign makes him someone who not only overanalyzes every situation in which he participates, but also someone who is inconsistent in his relationships. Pisces worries too much about what others may think of him, so he will be alert to your every move. As a result, when he doesn't trust his feelings and doesn't trust that he's capable of having someone who cares about him, he'll then question his partner's motives and actions. This is something that in extreme cases could end up sinking his relationship because no one wants to date a person who can't give a shred of trust, and he will need constant affirmation. So if you don't give it to him, he'll think you don't care. Fact 6. He shuts down emotionally. Open and honest communication with Pisces will depend on two things: whether you think that will generate an argument, and whether that will make you look like the bad guy in the relationship. The first is because when something bothers him, he is likely to keep it to himself and avoid arguing. In the second case, he will have a difficult time telling the truth and being sincere, especially after he has done or said something that he clearly should not have done. Not only that, but after dodging all of your attempts to speak, it will make everything look like it was your fault. However, when the problems are too many, he will likely begin to disappear more and more often until one day he does not return. Fact 5. He's not able to handle the responsibility of a relationship. Pisces will always have the desire to escape from the real world and travel as far as possible or participate in some other distraction, and it can feel frustrating on occasion to have him not fully be present. The truth is, he's just not the readily committing type. In case he settles down with you, he'll mostly have a loophole or a way of getting away from the limitations of responsibility and commitment. Fact 4. His fantasies can go to a dark and depressing side. The insecurity that this man has will be his permanent Achilles heel, as it will not only make him seek validation but also lack trust. If he thinks that you are cheating on him or needing another person, you will be dead to him. At the point in which he gets colder, he may likewise start playing with other personas to get back his confidence once more. Regardless of whether you're not cheating or flirting with any other person, if a Pisces man believes that, he will put up a wall and draw back from your relationship. Worst case scenario, if he doesn't resolve to talk about it, he might choose to see another person since you clearly don't need him. Fact 3. He hides problems under the rug. Throughout their life, Pisces will adopt the role of pacemaker over and over again. But this does not mean that he is a hero, but rather someone who avoids any kind of confrontation to keep the waters calm. Confronting Pisces about his behavior is an almost hopeless task, since he doesn't have an emotional shield. Their first move would be to swim away. This attitude will cause him to leave the problems of your relationship piling up without being taken care of. Fact 2. You're independent and somewhat cold. By now, you must have heard more than once that the Pisces man is the most codependent of the entire zodiac. He needs the approval of others to get on with his life. So if he can't find someone to depend on emotionally, he will dedicate himself to looking for something to obsess over. It could be his work, a hobby, or some unhealthy activity. A Pisces man can't bear to live far from their affections, and many times he develops a symbiosis with them that can even be somewhat toxic. For this reason, if you are too independent a person, Pisces will feel incomplete and will look for someone else on whom to project their fantasies. Before we reveal the first reason why a Pisces man will break up with you, here are a few honorable mentions that didn't make the cut, but are nevertheless interesting. You should take them into account. Honorable mention number 1. He'll meet someone more exciting. Sure, he's head over heels for you, but once he starts to realize that he's in an actual real relationship with you, and that you're not the woman from his fantasies but a real person, he'll start to look elsewhere. He knows how much it will hurt you, but he can't help himself. Once a fantasy gets old, he'll go after a new one. Plain and simple, a reason why a Pisces man will break up with you is that he'll fancy himself in love with someone else, just because he's bored. Honorable mention number 2. They feel like you don't understand them. Pisces men perpetually feel misunderstood. No matter how much time you spend listening to them and trying to be on the same page as them, their personality is as deep as the sea, and there will always be a part of him that he'll keep under wraps at all costs. But he'll end up feeling like you don't make that much of an effort to really know him. He'll end up resenting you because you don't pay enough attention, and he might as well be a stranger. At some point, he'll convince himself that it's better to be single than to be with someone who doesn't get him. Honorable mention number 3. He'll convince himself you are cheating on him. A Pisces man with trust issues will hold on to the smallest suspicious details, and he'll end up convincing himself that you're absolutely cheating. If you're going out to see friends, or if you're acting weird when you're on your phone, he'll see what he wants to see and decide that you are a cheater after all, and it's time to call it quits. Fact 1. He feels you try to restrain him. Too emotional for himself, Pisces feels that bearing the emotional burden of another person along with his own is too much for him, which is why he prefers to maintain relationships that don't require too much compromise. He needs his space to come and go as he wishes. Don't pull him out of his dream world. So even if you ask for the bare minimum commitment, have in mind that Pisces will fight back to set himself free as soon as he feels chained or whipped, as if you were ripping him out of there. As we've already seen throughout the list, Pisces' tendency to be out of touch with reality and wanting to live in a fantasy world leads them to be flighty and unpredictable. No one can contain his internal flow, and his waters rise above any commitment and attachment. That's why, when everything seems fine, it is necessary to check everything a second time, as this man could be hiding thoughts from you while poisoning himself and the relationship. Which of these 10 reasons has surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, share it with as many people as you can so others can see it too.